You already know what time it is.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Ask the Ma'ats, my online blog and advice column. And actually, it's not just mine alone. I do this each and every day with my husband, Ayize Ma'at. And what do? We answer your questions, we give you our opinions, and we always challenge you to stop playing and start pushing. So today I wanted to do something solo because my husband responded to the question of a young lady who asked, what do I do to get my man motivated to help him get back in the game? And so I wanted to give my take on that same question. I have to say that this area is one that I'm very sensitive about, and I just want to keep it real with everybody. I mean, on one hand, I'm always trying to be mindful of the words that I'm using, the things that I'm saying, and the images that I'm projecting about black men. I want to make sure that I'm not viewed as, or I'm not promoting, any kind of propaganda about black men ain't this, black men ain't that, or anything like that, because that's far from who I am. I have a wonderful black man who's a husband. I have 2 sons that I'm raising into some strong black men, and I have all kinds of wonderful examples about men and what they can be in your life. But I'll say this thing grates me. It really grates me because granted, there's a lot that we can do to support our men when they're not doing what they're supposed to be. But the bottom line is this: accountability has to be a part of what we do. And so my answer to this really focuses in on accountability. And the way that you can get to saying, am I holding him accountable? Am I making sure there's some accountability in this process? Is first by asking yourself, what the hell are your standards? What you going for and what you not going for? You gotta have some standards. And if those standards are not being met, and yes, it's okay to say I have standards. It's okay to say they're not being met, right? But anytime, a woman who's black and who's talking like me and is talking about a man and, having standards and what is he doing, then all of a sudden you get labeled and put into an angry black woman box or something like that. And that's why I'm always trying to be mindful. But I want to really reflect to society that I think sometimes, or a lot of times, some things are out of balance. We've done a great deal, at least within the African American community, to really let black men know that, hey, for a long time people was hating, and we need to lift you up. We need to lift you up because we don't want to oppress you at home. We know you're oppressed in the world. But at the same time, I hear a great deal of stories from women who are African American who talk about African American men not doing their part. What can I do to get them engaged? And so I guess I have, I have an issue with it. I really do. And while at the end of the day, there's a lot that we can do to be supportive in terms of how we're talking to you, how we're coming at you as a black man, as any man for that matter. All of that is important. But I will say this: accountability has to happen. It has to come from your standards. Accountability doesn't mean putting your hand on your hip and saying, hold up. Accountability means you said you were going to do A, B, and C, and you didn't do A, B, and C. So what's the problem? Why didn't that happen? We need to have a conversation. And then if that happens again, we need to have another conversation. If it happens again now, what are the consequences? There are natural consequences for not doing things. If I don't pay my bill, they don't say, well, it's rough out here in the world for black women, we gotta, just make sure we're supportive and, what can you, they don't do that. They say, you didn't miss your, you didn't pay your bill. So therefore your lights are gonna be turned off. Now maybe we can make a payment arrangement, but trust and believe there is a natural consequence that comes from not doing what you need to do. So I just wanted to put this piece in there today to say, add this to it. Hold that man accountable. Make sure you're clear about what your standards are. Don't be afraid to do it. And don't get it twisted or confused because you're like, well, I'm trying to be supportive. Yes, you can be supportive, but you also have to make sure that you are able to express your needs, advocate for yourself and your family, and do what a real enlightened woman would do for her man. say, hey, I'm here for you. But when it's all over, when I finish rubbing your back, I need you to get up and go to work.